So hello, welcome back to James Ramblin Reviews. I have already done a quick reaction of the film Apex 2026 starring Taren Egerton and Charlize Theron, but this is my more full review, more details on how I actually feel about the film, because in the quick reaction, obviously when I do a quick reaction, it's just the immediate thought that comes to the brain after you watch the film and stuff like that, so there's no urgency to go and say, hey, this is what I feel about the movie, this is exactly why I felt like the movie was great and all that. So in this video, this will be all about talking about the film and how I'm not joking when I wrote it in my YouTube title for that quick reaction, that it's probably one of my favourite films of 2026 now, and one of the best films in the Netflix catalogue of this year. And so before we get into all of that kind of mumbo jumbo, what I'll kind of run through here is I'll just tell you quickly my kind of background with Taron Egerton as an actor, because I've seen a few films of his where he had the one where it was like, I think it was Tetris. I think I did review that, so I'll link that down below. So Tetris was a really good film because it was all about the Tetris game and his acting was great in it, and it was like the storyline of that type of thing, and it was building up everything to do with Tetris, the founder of Tetris, how it had like the USSR and all that involved in it, so that was great. There's also a film he done called Carry On, the Christmas one, that was trying to be a 2025 or 20, whenever the movie came out, I think it's 2025 or 2024 version of Die Hard, but the film itself, the quality didn't really live up to that, and the movie wasn't that great in my opinion. I thought it was alright, but so we have that, and I've also seen the Kingsman movies that Taron Egerton was in, and so I have enjoyed the kind of Taron Egerton films he's been in. And so this movie, what you kind of have here is a kind of, if you want to call it a wild goose chase or a cat and mouse chase, where there's this woman, she's in love with this guy, but then another guy gets involved, and then there's this whole big thing where the guy has all this other stuff going on, and then they're trying to chase each other, and then it's all a big what if storyline, because you're like, what's going to happen here? Is he really legitimate, or is he just a crazy psychotic crazy man after this woman and wants to just do so much stuff and all in one go? And so there's definitely that's kind of what the film is all about, and that's without me even reading the plot summary either, so that's kind of what you've got in here. And so what I will say is, I did mention about the acting, because yes, I will say first and foremost that Taron Egerton, he comes into the film a bit later than, obviously, you know how it shows you when you load it up on Netflix, it does have Taron Egerton right in front of your face and things, but he is a great actor in it. You've also got Charlize Theron in the film, she's great in it, but Eric Bana is actually decent in the film as well. Like, I actually thought with the small section in the film that he's in, he actually does provide a lot of value of the whole movie, the context of the film, and he does add a good, point of the film where he is really good with the storyline, and how his whole thing of the storyline is trying to catapult the film into all the context and the meaning behind why Charlize Theron's character had a certain feeling, had a certain way of being and things, so he had a really good impact on the film. And it's like, the thing is with Eric Bana's character is, it's one of those kind of films where like the character might not be in the film for the whole entire runtime, but that little segment of the movie has a really amazing rippling effect on the whole film, because it goes full circle, it ties it back to Eric Bana's whole meaning and why he was there. So that's what I like about the film as well. Like Taron Egerton's acting, Charlize Theron's acting is great as well. As I said in my quick reaction as well, I will say the pacing of the film is absolutely great in this movie, because as soon as the movie starts, you just like, it's kind of like boom, the movie's like, it just boom, it flies in your face, the movie's over before you even know it. As soon as you start watching the film, the movie's already over. It could be 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's already 4 p.m. and that's what it feels like. It just feels it goes by that quickly. That's one of my examples. It just goes so quickly. You're so invested in the movie, and that's what's good about the movie. It gets me invested in it. It also is a really good movie for making me hate Taron Egerton as well, because yes, he is a great actor, but I didn't say this in my quick reaction, but the reason why it makes me feel like I hate Taron Egerton's character is because he is a freaking psychopath in this movie. Won't lie to you. And as an actor like Taron Egerton, not originally an Australian actor, putting on an Australian accent, flawlessly performs this Australian accent, by the way. He just really gets to the point of the kind of tone of an Australian accent, how quite sharp the accent is, and one of the things they say is like gnarly, and he just absolutely says all these types of words to perfection in this movie. I would say he's probably the best part of the film. Charlize Theron does a bit and all that, she's a great actress, right, but I think he's one of the best parts of the movie. I'm not done yet, because one other thing that really just keeps me going and thinking about the film is how you have the film technique of the camera angles. So at the start of the movie, when they're climbing the mountain, the camera like flips over and you see so for example you could see like it from up there and then around there, and it's a bit distorted, and it's kind of like that vertigo feeling where if you're afraid of heights, you know what I'm talking about, where you see if you see a cliff side, it's like oh that's like oh my goodness, that's like oh wow, that's high up, or it's down below, and it's so you can see the whole ground. It's like oh my goodness, what the hell, what if I fall right now? And there's things like that where it gets you invested. Like it's not just the art, it's not just the storyline and all of that type of thing, it's also the filmmaking and the film techniques where they actively make sure that the whole film technique and the way the camera moves is all uncomfortable, and it gets you really feeling for like oh my goodness, what the heck's gonna happen next, what the heck is happening, why the heck is everything so awkward, and kind of in that distorted mode where it like feels like you're on the edge and it feels like you're about to fall off a cliff, and all of that stuff to be considered here. It really is a solid film. There's also a point towards the end of the movie that I just absolutely love about this movie, that it really does go full circle with how there was a whole thing with Eric Bana. It leaves you to decide in your own imagination what actually happened to him, and I will try not to spoil too much about that, but then when it goes to the end of the movie, it has Charlize Theron and she's in her own moment and things, and the way that the movie's just like, you know what, you might have heard some noise in the background, but you know what, I'll just let you have your imagination and let it run free, because honestly this movie does that really well. It is just a true sense of craftsmanship, and it creates a film in so many ways where the acting, the filmmaking, the pacing, it all just comes together. And so see, for me, I'm not going to say the movie, I would love to say that the movie was a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but I think I would say it's a 9 out of 10 for me on the levels of what I talked about, just because of how everything panned out for me, how it worked out. And this is coming from a context where obviously I did like Taron Egerton's films and things and how he was acting in these movies, but it's coming from another context where like I didn't know much about it going in as well. And that's one thing about the film, is like if you didn't even know that much about the film when it was offering, then you get to see all the reveals, and that's what's great about it. And the reason why I'd also say it's not a 10 out of 10 is because see, if I tried to watch the movie again, I'd already know this will happen to Taron Egerton or this will happen to Eric Bana's character and things like that. So yeah, overall a 9 out of 10 film, one of the best films of the year so far. And hope you enjoyed this review. I tried to go in depth, and I also tried to not spoil the movie, and I did mention in my quick reaction I may or may not spoil stuff, and I just decided not to spoil anything just because I think it's worth watching. If you haven't watched the movie already, you should definitely do that, and you should probably just flick it on Netflix. Don't even watch the trailers, don't even watch anything that's related to the storyline. Just kind of go in there, get yourself sorted out, and go in there and watch the movie. Sit down, grab a drink, all that stuff. So yeah, overall that's my review on the film. This might be on the bit of the longer side of things, but sometimes when you do a film review, you just gotta dig deep, show that no surrender, and really go and show that you can talk about the film and give your honest review. So yes, hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more reviews on this James Ramblin' Reviews channel. And so yeah, I'll see you after. And definitely this movie had me on the Taren Egerton of my seat with all those reviews. So yeah, see you after.